All right, guys. Sorry about that again. All right. Now the stream is a lot better. The stream was it was saying unstable and all that stuff. Now um, it's all good now. It's been a learning curve. I will tell you that all this stuff has been a really big learning curve. Learning how to. Okay, now it's on YouTube. Now we're all good to go, guys. All right. So, OP chapter 1174. So, it's called The Strongest in the World. Just a quick recap what we saw last week. So, last week we saw Zoro jump in between the two giants that were Domi reversied. And my dude said he had an idea. He cut both, uh, what's his name, Brogy and Dory in half. We also saw, maybe I need to give a recap to be honest. 1173, what did we see in 1173? We saw that Ange, whatever, was going towards the kids. We saw also that, I want to go like in order so that we can all like get on the same page for it. My bad, guys. On the screen, I cannot show the full. Um, I can't show the full thing. Um, Reason being copyright. I don't want this to be taken down. Apparently, these people don't play with their money. So, let's see. All right, quick recap. All these pop-up ads and stuff like that. All right, so yeah, the last chapter, um, it was Usopp on the cover page. We were speculating if this was like a sign if Heracles was going to come back because there was a beetle in the background of this new cover page. We also see that Usopp is sticking his nose into some honey and Chopper is looking like a fiend. The cover page didn't really have much going on with it. It was just a cover page. And the next one, we see how just a quick recap of 1173. The Giants, the Domi Reversi Giants, are going to start fighting Ja Rule. And Ja Rule's like, yeah, like, cool, let's bring it on. And so we get like Hiruden and the other guy hyping up Ja Rule, saying like the dude was like the strongest at the time when he was in his youth and all that stuff. Um, like I said, we had Zoro with his little bright idea. His idea was just that he was gonna jump on top of these people and like just slice them. We still don't know what's going on. There was kind of a bit of a after he sliced them and stuff like that. There was like a zoom into Zoro after. It kind of seemed like maybe he was hurt or maybe something was gonna happen after he attacked Dory and Brogy. The speculation is that with Domi reversing, with Imu reversing these people into demons and stuff like that, considering that this is going off of the game of Reversi, also known as Othello, when you have two black pieces and there's a white piece on the middle, the white piece will turn black. And so my idea was that if Zoro was getting in between these two demons, that he was gonna turn into a demon, right? And so that's kind of like what my speculation is. The last that we see of Zoro, we kind of see him in pain after he attacks Dory and Brogy. So it's kind of just like, okay, that's what we're waiting for this next chapter. We also see Brooke finally confront Gunko, who is now Princess Shuri. Of course, One Piece wouldn't be One Piece without the princesses and all that stuff. So yeah, we learn about that, and we learned that at first we thought that Princess Shuri and Gunko and that Brooke were like on amicable or like on good terms because um, when she sees Brooke and when they first like get that little flashback, she gets a flashback to a silhouette of her and Brooke, and she's like saying "Dad," And so we kind of assumed that there was like a paternal like feeling there or like a guardianship idea there. But after the conversation and after reading, we realized that Gunko was accused of killing her father by Brooke, and her father was basically Brooke's master that he was like indebted to. And so he harbors a lot of anger towards Gunko, and he said, which Oda did a really good point, and I'm like I listen to a lot of other theorists as well, so some of these ideas are not just wholly mine, but other people's views as well. But you know, like with there's a lot of like reflection, mirroring, right, with the last couple chapters we just left behind last year. Loki, learning about Loki's backstory, learning how he was basically he took the blame for his father's death, even though we all know that yes, he might have killed him, but the person that really killed him, yes, Loki was the one that finally put an end to his father's life, right? Physically, right? But Emu was the one that put the nail in the coffin by taking him over, and he had no other choice. And so I see that reflected a lot with Gunko. We're having like this idea, this theme of people being accused of things without really like being able to defend themselves. Loki was like a demon from the get go. Like this man came out the womb and they hated him. And so we're kind of like seeing those ideas being challenged in these last couple, in this arc, right? Of like, not everything is what it seems like from even just the beginning. Now that I'm again talking about it, Roto gets in and he kidnaps the Straw Hats, and we're in this like Lego world, and we're like, what is going on? Is Elbath made of Legos? We were all speculating because Legos in the real world, in our world, comes from like a Swedish Nordic brand, and Elbath is obviously inspired by Nordic and Viking mythology and all that stuff. So this it's been a theme in this arc that not everything is what it seems, and to take a better look at things, right? And to look at things at a different perspective, because we found out that the Straw Hats weren't in Legoland. They were just in a miniature version. Like they were Roto, his giant ass, kidnapped them and put them basically in a playpen of Legos, right? And they didn't know that. So not everything is what it seems, and we're finding that out about Gunko because she's trying to fight it, right? So she's fighting for control over her body with Emu, and you know, for a second she snaps out of it, and in that brief second that she snaps out of it, she tells Brooke, "Yo, you need to run," and in that second she also releases the rest of the Straw Hats that are, you know, taken prisoner by her and are tied up right now with her arrow fruit, right? Um, so yeah, we also even like Brooke goes hard. He's like, bro, I thought I'd never even have to think about you today, like ever again. Like that's how much he does not like this woman, and that's how much he despises her. But like I said, this is all just assumptions. I'm sure he doesn't know the full story. Then we also see that the lines, the arrows that were like keeping the kids captive also comes loose, and so like the kids are not having to, you know, like it's the chains on the kids are getting loose is all I'm saying, right? Um so we see that Usopp, Jinbei, the gang, Nami, they're all freed. And so Nami is going to head towards the kids. Usopp, we don't know where my man is going. Jinbei kind of takes notice that Ange, like, left and that she's probably not going to make it in time. Let me see. And then yeah, then we see like the kids are still like marching forward, but just because like the arrows are like not working on the kids anymore doesn't mean that the thorns that Somers is using is still not gonna work. And so Robin is still like captive by Somers, right? And then the thorns are still guiding the kids towards the boat, and the boat is eventually gonna sell them to Marie Joie, sell them into slavery, right? Servitude and all that stuff. And so my boy Somers, in true villainesque fashion, right? Like you have to give it to this man. This man is fucking evil, right? He just decided he's down there getting a hard on. I mean, like getting to see like these kids are about to like die and stuff like that. Um, and so he's enjoying it. He's talking shit back to Colin, and he was like, "Your daddy ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't gonna come." And then so he hears like then you hear all of a sudden all the parents, everybody and their mamas come in and save the kids, right? And they're like, oh, like happy and shit like that, right? But then here comes the nightmare Nika, right? Like the bad, destructive version of Nika that the kids had dreamed of that now is like actually like tangible, right? And so now they have to fight the Nika because in the background of all this chaos, we still have these nightmare monsters that were brought to life by Killingham's devil fruit, right? And so they have to fight this version. And this is like this, like, you have to think about it. This is the sun god, their version of destruction. So this is a powerful monster, even if it's just a nightmare, right? And so, the older generation of giants that were still like living by that code, they start fighting the big black Nika. And I probably shouldn't say that, to be honest, but I probably should say uh, dark Nika, right? Or like destructive Nika. And then we also have Goldberg, Roto, and the other girl. I forgot her name. I'm sorry, she's kind of forgettable. And they out here, the other ones that get rid of the dark Nika and stuff like that. I want to see what Malik just commented because I'm pretty sure my friend Malik just commented when I said that. Let me see. Okay, he didn't respond, so I don't think he's making music right now. So yeah, so fucking those three guys, they attack the Nika and they get it like out the way, right? But in doing so, they like yeet that boy, right? And Summers, it's heading towards Summers. And so Summers in true like I don't care fashion. And I can understand that because me, like I don't be paying attention to the things that I be doing sometimes. So he just swat that thing like a fly. And with swatting that thing like a fly, he threw it towards the boat that was gonna take the kids to Marie Joie. And so now the boat to take the kids is broken, right? And he's just like, oh crap. Because Emu is in the island. And Emu, like, my boy Emu he killed Saturn. He turned that man into bones, into dust. And so, Summers just has like a really like look and he's like, oh, this is bad. All right. So that was 1173, right? Cool. Now we are ready for 1174. Woo, 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 woo. All right. One Piece, 1174. Let's get it, boy. All right. So the first cover page story. We still don't have a story. This is just a cover page request by a fan. It's chapter 1174, The Strongest in the World. So we got my boy Roger with the camo pants. He got the muscles out. He got the jacket on. He got the ankles showing. And he's sharing his meat with a dinosaur. That is some white people shit. I will tell you that. I don't know. They be saying that Luffy's Brazilian. Roger's white because I am not sharing no food with a dinosaur. I don't know where your fucking mouth has been. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so yeah, he's out here chilling with a dinosaur. He got Roger's hat on. At this point, Roger doesn't have the straw hat anymore. All right, so we have some notes here by Oda. The Norbrook Festival was a blast. The Draw Me girls were super shiny and sparkly, but the lights were just too much for this old man. Don't know what that is. Okay, so like last chapter, we left off with Summers freaking out about the boat breaking, right? So this chapter, we're starting off with Summers doing the same. My boy is freaking out about, I don't want it to get like everything. My boy is freaking out about like the boat breaking off the ledge, right? So he's like, this is bad. That damn dream, that damn demon, right? And then we get like a big shot of how the cliff looks like because we didn't really like get a look of how the cliff looked like, but we can see now that the kids will if they keep on walking, they're going to drop to their deaths. We see that right here. Like, you guys can see it just a little bit. And it's not just the ship, he says. He's like freaking out. All those sea clouds got blown away with it. Pyrobloin. That's what it's named. We went to Skypea. Conus and her father told us sea clouds are made from pyrobloin, hard substance. That got blown away. And he's like, what a mess. And I can't stop the arrow effects. The brats will fall and splat themselves against the mountain face. He's riding one of the fucking creatures. Gunko, you got to stop the kids. We need to call off the plan for a bit. He's calling Gunko. He's still freaking out. It's no use. Lord Emo's in there right now, not her. Who says that? We have to free them from this arrow. Who is that? Who's saying that? And he's like, huh? He's also asking who's asking that. Oh, no, okay, so it's the giants, like, okay, so my boy Summers is freaking out. He's like, it's no use. Lord Emo's in there right now, not her. And then we have some giants that are like, we have to free them from this arrow. And so they're trying, and he notices these giants. And the giants are shot back to the giants, right? They're trying to break the arrows. Gunko's arrows, even though they're loose, they're still pointing the kids towards the cliff. And so they're trying to break it. And they're like, what's this made of? It's not even leaving a scratch. And the kids are like freaking out now, right? They're like, Daddy, Mommy, save me. This is like really intense. I couldn't even imagine the amount of panic, the amount of overwhelm. Like, you're just trying to get this done like really quick. All at the same time, this guy is like fucking attacking you. And he's like, Summers comes and he says, that's useless, you fools. If that were possible, I'd be doing it myself. And they're like, what? Because I guess they don't know, because he's freaking out. And Summers, we look at Summers and he's like thinking, he was like, those parents are trying to protect their children, but the thorns won't let them touch the brats. But the way things are going, they'll soon be forced to watch their kids careen to their deaths. Oh my, what a juicy way to die. Hey, wait, this kind of works out. Since Gunko is being controlled, the Great One's technically responsible for this. We can always snatch more brats afterwards. This man is evil, bruh. I'm not trying to curse a lot, but man, Summers is a good villain. I can't wait until they like animate this, to be honest, because this is just gonna be so intense. Like, it just has to be so intense, so high stakes. You know what I mean? They're gonna put the music on. They're going to be doing the zooming in into the emotions, into the crying. They're going to be going crazy when this gets animated. And he's like, I can hear it now, the sweet sobbing screams of their dear parents as they plummet. This is going to be so touching. My man did not get loved as a child. He is jealous. He wants to hurt people. My man did not get loved as a child. Yeah, he did not get loved as a child. That's what I'm thinking, like my man's. And he says, attention, brats and PTA members alike. Our initial plan to ship the tax off safely to the Holy Land has run into an unforeseen snafu. This ship and the cloud layer have been wiped away. Okay. So to be blunt, your kids are about to fall to their deaths. And they're like, what? There's nothing more. It's almost comical. I know you've come so far to find a more mid-finish line. And they're like freaking out. The kids are. And the kids are like, we're just going to march off the ledge like this? We'll fall if we keep on going. My man's is evil. This is not even like, bruh, like, Oda did good. Like, I can't show y'all the full panel, but like, all of this, yeah. I don't like seeing little kids about to, even if it's just a comic, right? And then so Oimo goes, if giving up my arms is the only way, is the only severe way to stop them, then so be it. You guys can figure out what the fuck that says. I'm gonna just say, if giving up my arms is the only way to stop them, then so be it. And so he tries to grab them, even though they have thorns. And she's like, oh, wait, no, Grandpa Oimo. And Summer stays in the intercom while he's yelling or whatever. Unfortunately, there's really no way to stop this. And then Killingham looks, and he's like, we turn over to Killingham, and he's looking at this, and he's like, what is that bastard Summers doing? We finally got all the brats to the harbor. And he goes in the intercom again, Summers. So to be blunt, you kids are about to fall to your deaths. Okay, that got repeat. That was a repeat of the last one. Okay, y'all saw that? That's a repeat. Okay. I'm so locked in, y'all. I'm so fucking locked in. So Oyama passes out, like he gets dragged, like he's saying damn it, and he's still holding on, and she's saying, it's hurting you, let go, Grandpa Oimo. And he's like yelling, and he's like, oh, please forgive me. And they're like, Oimo. And Oimo is looking at his hands like, wow, like it seems like we really can't do anything while the arrow is on the ground, arrows around. And they're like, there's no way to stop the kids, so we can't save them, no way. And they're like, you expect me to watch my own child plummet to death? If they fall into the realm of the dead, we won't ever be able to recover their bodies. Those demons are screwing with us. And so we have a shot of the parents, the giants, looking at their kids about to fall to their deaths. And then you just have Summers just fucking laughing, like just going crazy laughing. And now the kids are like reckoning with themselves, right? Now the kids are looking at the ledge. Now they're like coming to terms with their deaths, right? And they're doing the best that they can. And so they're like, I must have done something bad. And this is divine punishment, isn't it? Huh? And they're like, oh, one goes, huh? Another, I always told you that too when I got in trouble. Another, me too, if only I was a good boy. Another, you guys really think we're gonna die because we're bad? That was Colin. And then like, what? No way. I'll be a good kid from now on, I promise. Save me, help me, I'm sorry. Summer's just fucking laughing. Colin is just like, I won't do anything bad anymore, ever. And so we get a flashback of, we just get a flashback. And so the next panel we see Colin and Ripley, and he's actually playing with a toy that looks very similar to Emmeth, the giant robot that was on Egghead Island saving the Straw Hats from, from the Gorosei, from the Five Elders. So in this shot, we see Colin bringing a toy up to his mom. And Ripley's like, the sun god pays special attention to naughty kids, And then he goes, but like I said, I won this in a duel. And then the next shot we see Ripley scolding Colin, saying the strong should look out for the weak, not going to apologize. I forgot this little girl's name. It's either like, the only one I know is Rania, but they all got names. They all got names. The next little giant girl, she's crying. She thinks about a time that her mom says, why haven't you cleaned your plate? Do you hate my cooking that much? And she goes, no, I just hate carrots. That face, the anime face. And then Another one we see, another kid, his memory saying, how many times have I told you to not take your father's sword? And he's getting like scolded by his mother. And that's what did we say? Like, what was like one of the things? There was an SBS or something, right? When Oda was like, he answered a question. Someone asked Oda, "What's the scariest thing?" And he said, "A mother's anger." This is them missing their mother's love and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Even in this arc in Elbaf, right? Ange, the teacher, she asked the students, "Yo, you guys need to draw. I want you guys to draw your worst nightmares, right?" And one of the kids' nightmares was his mom, like an angry mom. And so they're reflecting on their mom, right? Like, I wonder if this is gonna change the nightmares. I wonder, but um, one boy saying, "I hate you, Grandpa. You and your savage pirate crew stink." Whose son is that? Whose kid is that? I'm pretty sure that's somebody's. We're gonna figure it out after this. And we have another one saying, "Why are you lying again? I can't protect you if you lie to me. She's scolding her daughter. Another giant kid is like, um, she said the kid is yelling at the mom saying, "Why did you bring my homework with you? I forgot it on purpose. I didn't do it." So they're all reflecting on like all the bad things that they've done through the years, and I have definitely done that, y'all. As a kid, I'm not gonna front with you. I was scared of my mom, and so like every time I lost something, and I lost things often. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like, I was not the best with keeping track of things, but I remember I would just like be so scared. I'm like, man, like I'd ask God. I'm like, God, like I promise I'll do better. I'll do better. I'll do better. I'll do all this begging and reckoning. Like, God, I just was scared as fuck of my mom. Um, but it's funny to see, and it's nice to see this turned around. And then we see like Colin completely freak out, right? He just completely loses it, and he's like, "Why? I don't want to die, mommy." And then we see Ripley right in front of Colin, and he's like, "Huh?" And she's like, "Colin, come here." So we see in this panel Ripley hugging Colin, and she gets like stabbed through and through. She gets stabbed on her leg, she gets stabbed in her abdomen, she gets stabbed in her arms, and she's just hugging her son. And she's like, "Come here." And she says, "I'm sorry." He looks at her and he's crying. And she's like, "I'm sorry. I can't stop you from moving, but I can do this much at least." This is giving me flashbacks to Nami and Bellamere, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, that shit was like had me fucking sobbing. That shit had me sobbing. And so like watching this, like reading this in real time is so different. I couldn't have imagined reading like Nami's story like in real time. And then so we get like a next panel, like we're focusing on like the body and how like she's stabbed, and Colin's groaning, and he's like, "But if you don't let go, you'll die too, Mom." And she's like, "I'm okay with that." And she's like, "It's better than letting you die alone." And so we see Ripley falling off with Colin, and we see every single other child fall off with their mother. And they're like all yelling for their mother, all yelling for their mother. And then we see like Summer's just going crazy. Yo, fuck you, Oda. I hate you. Oda, why? Why? are you so good at this? You can't just keep getting away with this. Oda, what is wrong with you, you maniac? Okay, so Summers is just laughing his little ugly ass brain off. Oh my god, his ugly ass mouth. Ugh. And then Rania, that's her name because she's the one with the big ass smile. She's the one with the little gap teeth. I love her. That's my girl. She says, it's okay. We'll be fine. I just know we'll be saved. We'll be saved, right? And you know, Ranja was like, Ranja, that's her name, Ranya, whatever. The whole time she was acting brave because the whole time she was putting on a front, she was scared. Like, if y'all been watching this in real time, my home, like, Girlie was scared. And she was trying to put on a brave face. She was feeling alone. She wasn't knowing who was going to come for her. And her daddy, she turned around and her daddy's right there. He grabs her and he's like, you did great back there. And she's like, Papa, Bent, Mommy. He thinks about what he said in class, what scares me the most. And he's like, my mommy. And he says, I'm sorry, I said you were scary. He's like, she says, I don't mind being scary. Your first mommy lives to protect you. Yo, this man cannot keep getting away with this. Oh my God. Oh, oh my God. Fuck. This man. Y'all need to pick this up. Oh man, she's like, I don't mind being scary. Your fierce mommy lives to protect you. She's hugging him. They're falling off. I'm pretty sure this is the granddaughter of Yarua because she has the ancient horns on. This is now the little girl with the ancient giant horns on, right? And she goes, it must be nice having parents like this. And then she thinks about Ange. To every motherfucker that was... We all thought Ange was a traitor. How many theory videos are out there talking about Ange is a traitor? We have her having a flashback with her name is Johanna. She's like, don't worry, I'm here for you. And she's like, you're not my mom. Ange comes and she grabs her and she goes, Miss Ange. The way this man knows how to draw panels of people crying. Bruh. I already know what happens because I read the fucking spoilers. But y'all, this is good. This is peak, man. Oh. Yeah, so no. To everybody that was saying that Ange wasn't nothing, that she was a traitor, bruh. Everybody needs to give Ange a sorry. Y'all need to give my girl her props, man. Oh, man. Then we see Roto's brother. Oh, my God. This chapter is so good. Y'all, I'm so grateful to be alive just for this moment. I got one viewer. My one viewer, you a writer. I don't know who you are. Do I have anyone on live stream? Let me see. On YouTube? Okay. I only have one person on this Twitch. That's fine. You are enjoying this with me. I'm enjoying this, but man, I don't know if you read One Piece. This is good. This is fucking peak. I live for this. I live for fucking this, y'all. We see Rhoda's brother. His name is Bjorn. And we have Bjorn thinking about reminiscing about his brother. And he's like, stay away from my school. It's embarrassing enough having a total nerd like you for a brother. Remember, like in the beginning, Rhoda was weird. My boy kidnapped the Straw Hats and put them in a Lego set. My man's was on some, I don't know, but he was on some weird stuff. He was on demon time, all right? So, yeah, I get it. But he was still missing his brother, right? And so he's like, Rhoda's like, I can be more discreet so they won't notice me in regards to, embarrassing him at school. And so Bjorn's thinking about divine punishment, huh? And so he's thinking about that. He's thinking that is his punishment for being that way towards his brother. And so we see Rhoda coming in, yelling, Bjorn Tasso. I don't know what Tasso means, but he's yelling his brother's name, Bjorn. And he grabs his brother and he's like, I'm fine, it doesn't hurt. And he's like, brother. Bjorn cries out, brother. And so we see Summers just laughing. Man, this man is so evil. Why is he so evil? This man is just evil. He's just laughing his brains off, right? Now, I'm not gonna lie, that Rhoda made me think about my brother too, my sister. I'm holding in the tears. So Summer's just laughing his brains off. Oda, you cannot keep getting away with this. I'm gonna just say that one more time, Oda. You can't keep getting away with this, Oda. You can't, okay? Anyway, he says, look at them, those worthless scraps tumbling into the abyss. My heart is quivering. What a touching story. If you just let them fall, you'd only be down 10 brats. This is how they be thinking too, bruh. With everything that's going on, bruh. Those parents are stupid. Their love made them choose to die with their kids. I have butterflies in my stomach. What beautiful, meaningless death. He's just laughing his brains out. And then you just hear thud, 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 thud. They're like, what? And you just see like, this is insane. I already know what this is, bruh. This is insane. If this is the scale, y'all, if this is how big he is, bruh. This is his scale. This is his scale, y'all. This is Loki's back. These ain't mountains, y'all. This is Loki's back, bruh. They land on black mountains. I shouldn't have fucking spoiled it. I didn't get better at this. They land on black fucking mountains. Thud, 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 thud. What's this that we landed on? Huh? What is? Ripley's bleeding and she's like, Colin, where are we? And he's like running to her. He's like, I don't know, Mom, but we're safe. We're all safe. And they're all groaning and saying, Mom, Mom. And I just hear, I call that one Gum Gum Rice Cracker Belly. Anyways, you're kind of digging into me, so get off. So you're telling me that Luffy just turned himself into a tortilla? One Piece is so stupid, bruh. Luffy just turned himself into a tortilla. What is going on? But he called it Gum Gum Rice Cracker. That's funny, though. And then we see an eye, and he's like, hey, you. I'm getting fucking chills. Hey, you, as soon as we land, I want you to hop off my back, you hear? I don't want you meddling in my fights. And he goes, question mark? You guys just came falling down on us out of nowhere. Good thing we were passing by, says Luffy to the people. And we see Luffy in his god Nika form. And we see Loki saying, I didn't sign off on this. I'm the great destroyer. Now let's move. I'm not responsible for anyone's safety. And then we see Summers saying, like, wait, it's snowing? So, in the presence of Loki, in the presence of Luffy, we see snow. It doesn't snow with Luffy. It snows. Where's the camera? It snows with Loki. So my boy has the power of snow. And he's like, it's snowing? That's so sudden. And he's like, wait, was that thunder? Twofer. A twofer now, guys. Twofer. So we see a big, like, backdrop of Elbaf. And it's so much. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to digest everything. We see the Nidhogg. We see the other monsters. I don't know what you call them. The skeleton monster, the phoenix monster, whatever. He looks like a Pokemon. Oh, I'm understanding what I'm seeing. Dun 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 dun. The land is moving. Dun 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 dun. Right? We hear the drums of liberation going on. They're going like, "What's that beat?" They don't know that. They don't know that beat yet. They don't know that. Dun, 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 dun. And then we hear a crack. So we added instruments to the beat. We added a thunder crack. We added the crash. That's actually a drum, like crash cymbal, like the cymbal. That's a crash. So we hear a crack. Just saying, we could be adding to the drum beat, right? And Jarro's like, all of Elbaf is shaking. And he's reciting something. He's saying, on a curious day, when thunder and snow both flurry, a giant beast shall appear to blot out the skies. And then someone says, the drums of he says, the drums of liberation will boom out. And from the backdrop of the environment moving around, we see like the trees and everything moving around. We also see coming up on the horizon black mountains, black spikes. We're like, what's that? And we see Summers and we see Gunko turn around. Summers is freaking out. He's like, what? Then we see Emu Gunko, Emu Shuri, turn around talking about one eye. Guess that's so. What is that? And then we get the fucking sickest panel. One of the sickest panels. I just love. This is giving me. I don't know if you guys ever read these books. School teacher from like the Black Lagoon. That's what this is giving me. Anyway, let me read it all again, what Jarro is saying, because this is all just one thing, right? He's saying like one long monologue. He's reciting something. On a curious day, when thunder and snow both flurry, a giant beast shall appear to blot out the skies. The drums of liberation will boom out, and the sun god will rise. And then we see Luffy laughing. He's laughing. And he's saying, look how big you got. Now this is going to be funny. And we see, like, he basically just blasted away all the nightmares. They're just small in comparison to him. But yeah, no, this is... Loki's a freaking dragon. That's his devil fruit. So all the theories about the Nidhogg and all that stuff are right. They said that it was giving Disney Dragon. This is not giving Disney Dragon. This is giving Creature from the Black Lagoon. Let me put my glasses on. Let me educate y'all real quick. So, in the 90s, there was these books. Ooh, that's a lot better. Let me see. What y'all know about the teacher from the Black Lagoon? For some reason, it is reminding me of this art. I don't know what you guys think. Look at that. Do they have let me see, Black Lagoon series. I want to see if they have pages or anything. Yeah, these are books that I grew up reading and stuff like that. These are like one of my favorite series. But I don't know. That's what it's giving to me, right? Like the art style. That's what it's giving to me. I don't know why. That's what it's giving. But I love it. Damn. So yeah, this is a good. Um, this was a really good chapter, y'all. Um, I wasn't expecting to get that emotional. I knew what was going on. I knew what was gonna happen. So I was just not expecting to get that emotional. It was really he did his job today writing. He did his job writing that and setting that all up. For us being there for such a short time, which I feel like it's a short time, you know. I feel like things are going really fast actually, but we're still even able to feel that amount of like emotion while reading that. I'm so excited just to even like have to be able to read the what they're saying. I'm gonna try to log into my X, and we're going to see what they're saying about it. Uh 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 uh. uh. Oh, I already am. Uh 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 uh. Okay. All right. One Piece 1173. No, we gotta put 1174. Uh, People are already complaining about the art style. Yeah, I love the art style. Like I'm saying, like this is we are getting to the point where One Piece is like I think I'm saying this right, but One Piece is like super meta, right? Like let me make sure I'm saying that right. Still not understanding what that means, but I feel like at this point in One Piece, we have created a world. We have created a universe, right? Like with its own history. Like One Piece, like there's people that have timelines of One Piece, different eras of One Piece. And this is all justified by the author, right? He's giving us like different like historical context on things. He's giving us time and dates on things. He's setting up this universe in a certain way, right? And I think that we all should be at the point right now, if we're reading daily, that at this point we could be in someone's dream in One Piece. I know that people don't want to hear that, right? People don't want to like if the answer to all of this is that like One Piece is a kid's dream or something, people would be upset. I can understand that for some point. I think that we just need to let Oda do his thing. and we need to trust him. But with that being said, we all saw the mural. We all saw that it was fantastical what was happening at the time of the ancient kingdom and all that stuff. Also, this is One Piece. In a world where the main protagonist, his body is rubber, we have another person whose body is like candy. Perospero, he likes to turn people into candy. Another guy's a mochi fruit. Or mochi, yeah, he ate a mochi fruit, and so he's a mochi man. Buggy the clown, he can break his body into little pieces. This is a fantastical world. You know what I mean? We have Chinese dragons, we have English dragons, and so I think we limit ourselves. Let the author do what he wants to do. You just, I don't know, just trust it. I think. Let's keep on reading. Yeah, he says, anyone who complains needs to understand that Oda's art style was never meant to be gritty or raw like Berserk. It's a playful, exaggerated, and often comedic shonen style. It's not something dark or terrifying. I agree. I super agree. I'm going to see the latest, what they're saying. Oh, this person está, ella dijo, hasta el que le tiene miedo a la mamá lo está ayudando. So, even the mom, that he was scared of is helping him. En Spanish, ven conmigo. Lo siento mucho, a pesar de todo, no pudo detenerte. Ay, Dios, mi corazón. En Spanish cry. Flame Drum Dragon Kaido versus Dragon Loki. This would probably be a good fight. I would argue that this would not be a good fight. My man's was huge. Did you see how big that man is? The giants are ants on his back. Let me repeat that. That giants are ants on his back. So, nah. That boy would stomp him out. I guess my Spanish not that good. I know what they saying, but I'm not okay, let's say it. Vaya, me pregunto a qué vendrá que Oda haga esto. ¿Será porque todo el puto arco te han establecido que el tema principal es el amor? Literalmente la última palabra que Rocks en la historia fue amor. Pues no parece que es forza drama y nadie muere peace. Yo creo que ella está discutiendo con alguien porque lo que está diciendo no estoy entendiendo el contexto. No sé lo que significa LPTM. Qué susto me dio este momento. How scary this moment gave. What a jump this moment gave me. I'm not gonna lie to you, this moment scared me too. They say people are hating Summers. Rightfully so. Hate that man. Yup. People loving the design. I think it's cool, man. I think it's pretty freaking cool. I like how dark it is. I like how crazy looking it is. It's very different. And I'm excited to see how the anime is going to do it. I wanted to, it's giving older One Piece, pre-time skip. Like I said, for me, it's giving Creature from the Dark Lagoon. I'm here for it. Oda world building is insane. Things keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Yup. Yup, yup, yup. They said shirtless Luffy resembles the OG Nika. Yeah, I love this. I love this. Loki is gigantic. Not to mention that the giants who are 20 meters or 15 are ants compared to him, and he is in dragon form. Is 3 times or bigger than his giant self. And Luffy is a giant on top of him, and isn't bigger than one of his horns. They not wrong. That boy big. What a peak chapter, filled with touching moments and end with a huge reveal. Yep. Yep. You know, people loving on Ange. The scene genuinely made me tear. Last time that happened was Kuma's flashback. Yep. Yeah, let me close this door real quick, y'all. I'm getting a little chilly. What I should have done is order some food. I have to use the bathroom. Oh, I gotta call my mama. I haven't ordered DoorDash in forever. Everything is so expensive, y'all. It's expensive to live. It is expensive to exist. Olive Garden sounds so good. It's so, so good. It's so cold outside, though. Little Caesar is so good, too. I gotta eat some real food, though. Bro, Panda Express right up the street. I can mess up some Panda Express. I think. What time does Panda Express close? That place already closed. It's about to be 10. Oh, they close at 11. They close at 11, y'all. They close at 11, y'all. But there is Tin Drum next to me. Tin Drum is really good. I could walk to that. But it's cold outside. I could walk to that. But it's cold outside. I'm gonna use the bathroom too, y'all. Pick up clothes. They close at 9:30. Yeah, I said I don't. Yeah. All right, y'all. It looks like I'm about to take a trip to Panda Express. So I'm going to end the live right now. It's 10 anyway. So, but you guys have a good night. It was nice being on stream with y'all. I really enjoyed it today. It was a really good live. Thank you guys. You guys have a great day. Sayonara.